Why you can't leave toxic people, even when you know you should. You know they're hurting you. You've cried because of them. You've stayed awake, replaying conversations in your head. You've promised yourself that this time, you're done. No more excuses, no more second chances. And yet, the moment they become kind again, everything changes. You remember the laughter, the late night conversations, the version of them that made you believe you had finally found someone who understood you. Suddenly, leaving feels impossible. So why do intelligent people stay in relationships they know are destroying them? Why do good people tolerate what they would never accept for someone they love? The answer isn't weakness, and it isn't stupidity. In fact, the real answer is far more disturbing. Imagine standing in front of a slot machine. You pull the lever. Nothing. You try again. Nothing. Suddenly, jackpot. That feeling that maybe the next try will be the one. Casinos understand something most people don't. The most addictive rewards aren't guaranteed. They're unpredictable. If the machine rewarded you every single time, it wouldn't be nearly as powerful. The uncertainty is what keeps people playing. And toxic relationships often work the exact same way. They give affection, then they withdraw it. They praise you, then criticize you. They make you feel chosen, then make you question your worth. Your brain stops chasing peace. It starts chasing possibility. Maybe if I try harder. Maybe if I become more patient. Maybe if I say the right thing. The person I fell in love with will come back. And that's the trap. Because you aren't fighting for consistency, you're chasing unpredictability. This cycle has a name: intermittent reinforcement. It's one of the strongest behavioral conditioning systems ever discovered. The same principle used in gambling. The same principle that makes people keep checking their phones for notifications. The same principle that can turn love into addiction. And before you think this only happens to insecure people, it doesn't. Some of the people most vulnerable to this cycle are deeply loyal, empathetic, patient people who genuinely want to understand others. They remember someone's best moments and believe those moments reveal who they truly are. So they explain away the bad behavior. They're just stressed. They had a difficult childhood. They didn't mean it. They'll change. Slowly, compassion turns into self-abandonment. You stop asking, why are they treating me this way? And start asking, what can I do to make them love me like they used to? That's when love turns into survival. And then, something even more dangerous happens. You begin to lose trust in yourself. You stop listening to your instincts. You would ignore the discomfort in your chest. You silence the voice that says, this isn't okay. Because every now and then, they become kind again. Just enough to make you doubt your own reality. But here's the part nobody talks about. The person you miss may never have truly existed. Think about that. You aren't always grieving who they were. Sometimes, you're grieving who they could have been. The promises, the apologies, the future you imagined, the potential you saw in them. Potential is powerful. It gives people hope, but hope can also keep people trapped. Months pass, then years, waiting for someone to become the version of themselves they only reveal in brief moments. Now imagine your best friend came to you and said, they insult me, they disappear for days, they blame me for everything. But sometimes, they're incredibly loving. What would you tell them? Would you tell them to stay? Would you tell them to keep proving their worth? Or would you look them in the eye and say, you deserve better than this? So, why is it so difficult to offer yourself the same compassion? Because when you're inside the cycle, it doesn't feel obvious. It feels confusing. It feels complicated. It feels like love. But love shouldn't feel like constantly trying to earn your place in someone's life. Love shouldn't feel like walking on eggshells. Love shouldn't make basic respect feel like winning the lottery. Healthy relationships aren't built on intensity. They're built on consistency. They're predictable in the best possible way. You know where you stand. You don't have to decode mixed signals. You don't have to sacrifice your self-respect to receive affection. Healing doesn't begin the moment you leave. It begins the moment you notice. Notice how your body feels around them. Notice whether love feels safe or uncertain. Notice whether you're chasing connection or chasing relief. Awareness breaks the spell. Because once you understand the pattern, you can stop blaming yourself for being trapped by it. If this video made you uncomfortable, it wasn't meant to shame you. It was meant to help you see clearly. Because awareness is the first step toward freedom. And if you've ever mistaken unpredictability for love, you're not weak. You're human. You weren't addicted to pain. You were addicted to the hope that this time, things would finally be different. And sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is stop waiting for the jackpot and walk away from the machine.